Kill the Sun. It is the second EP by the usually industrial new metal grungy band Cane Hill. But this is like an acoustic experiment, blending bits of acoustic rock, bits of grunge and Americana, and I think they're including it all with their trademark bouncy bouncy groove, which I really don't like, and I'll touch on to a bit more in a bit. Reading up on the release, they said they were inspired by the Alice in Chains EP Jar of Flies from back in the day, which is pretty similar aesthetically. Obviously, Alice in Chains, everyone knows, quite a heavy, grungy band, one of the big four from back in the day. Jar of Flies was their acoustic version. They stripped back a lot of their music and released an EP full of like more acoustic-y based songs. So they've got a lot of inspiration from that, and also the MTV Unplugged series, of which the most famous one I know was two famous ones I know: the Korn one, which apparently was shit, and the Nirvana one, which I've heard bits of, and it sounds fucking incredible. So they were really inspired by that level of like strip it all back while still being heavy, but not quite, if you get what I mean. And something that I picked up on with this acoustic EP, as opposed to a lot of other ones, is you can straight away tell that this is still Cane Hill, which is a weird thing to say, but you look at an acoustic EP, as I don't want to rip on them, but Preston Miko, I've got an acoustic EP on the way. I think it's coming out towards the end of February. And they've released a couple of songs for it as well, and they're doing like acoustic reworkings. And aside from like their melodies, which make them them, the songs sound, because they've had to restructure them for, they are usually quite fast-paced, quite tactical songs. They've had to slow them right down for this new acoustic EP, and I think that's the difference between just covering songs that were never meant to be acoustic and just writing them from scratch. Because the songs on Kill the Sun sound like they could fit into any Cane Hill release, particularly the last song, Smoking Man. It's got like a really rhythmically repetitive chorus that I'll put in my notes with electric guitars would fit right into Too Far Gone. I think because it's got like a dissonant electronica outro to it, I think as itself it could fit into Too Far Gone or any previous Cane Hill release. And I think that's quite clever what they've done. They have still captured the sound that makes them Cane Hill, but in a totally different way. Vocalist Elijah Witt's vocals on Acid Rain, they're on par with this kind of singing he's putting into Lord of Flies or Singing in the Swamp with last year's album. And this, like I said, they really captured the sound whilst doing something different. They've played around with a lot of outside sounds in this. So Empty has got a Spanish guitar, so it's got this like weird Latin feel to it. Save Me has like a Serge Tankian style piano lead to it. Acid Rain is a bit more stonery. And yeah, it's just, they are blending around a lot of sounds, and they're still, even though it's an acoustic album, they're still putting in that industrial side to their sound. I won't give a specific example because it's just literally everywhere. And yeah, it's weird. They'll be coming on to more like industrial based folk, like acoustic music in a bit. But I think it's quite an interesting thing to what they've done. And like I said multiple times, they've really captured their sound, even as far as the like subtle industrial bits that they've like toned back on since the debut. They've really captured it in this like acoustic kind of way. And so the EP was like, they've said before that the whole purpose of the EP was to prove they could write quote unquote proper songs. It's a chance for the band to broaden what they can do or what they are known to do. And in the end, the grunge influences that they said, so the Alice in Chains, the MTV Unplugged series, they wear those things proudly on their sleeve. There is so much grunge in this. I was listening to Acid Rain and I got so much Soundgarden vibes. It was a chance to prove that Elijah could sing. He wasn't just like a one-trick pony when it came to screaming. And the drummer, Devin Clark, plays the saxophone, which saxophone is making the single greatest comeback in modern music. It's fantastic. Everyone's using a fucking saxophone these days, apart from fucking Shining! But all of this was to get away from the fucking new metal label they've been lumped with since they came here, and I don't understand. Nah, that's not fair. I know exactly why they don't want to be labelled as a new metal band. But modern day new metal is not that shit anymore. There's a lot of people. There's not many bands that are just a new metal band. Even Bring Me the Horizon are using bits of new metal, but they're using it with other things. You've got a lot of even like I rank Issues as one of the first bands to bring back a new metal sound, and they blended it with R&B. Like, there's no out and out new metal bands anymore, and that's a good thing because yeah, it wasn't. There was a lot of trash back in the day when new metal was becoming a big thing. The same way there's a lot of trash now after Gent came and gone. But when you blend it with other things, you make it a lot interesting, a lot more interesting, and it does have a much fatter sound with the PH. But nonetheless, if they don't want a new metal label, let's not give them the new metal label. Let's just enjoy this for what it is. It is Cane Hill. It is Kill the Sun EP. I recommend this if you enjoy the influences they said. So, As and Chains, like I said, I picked up a lot of Soundgarden vibes. I'm also going to throw Ancient Wisdom in there because it's dark, it's creepy, it's spoopy, and it's all acoustic. So, yeah. As and Chains, Soundgarden, Ancient Wisdom. Y'all go for the new Cane Hill EP. It's called Kill the Sun.